Hi there, I'm Tori and I'll take you through the practice today. As I have done for other classes, and if you're familiar with my classes, for me yoga is about moving the body and the breath. It's not about what you look like, it's about how you feel inside. So come to wherever's comfortable for you throughout the practice. And if there's any poses that you're not familiar with or that don't feel comfortable, then feel free to pull yourself out of the pose and then bring yourself back into it whenever is comfortable for you. Otherwise, if you've got any questions or anything like that, just pop them into the comment box at the bottom and I'll come back to you. But otherwise, let's get going, and I hope you have a lovely practice. So we'll start by sitting down onto the ground, whether that's cross-legged or kneeling. If you want to sit yourself onto a yoga block or onto kind of a hardback book, then that's totally fine. All we're looking for is to find a grounding feeling through the sitting bones down towards the ground. And just starting to arrive onto the mat. And just let ourselves, let our energy, let our presence just settle down towards the ground, and just give ourselves a couple of moments. And while we're settling, maybe start to mentally scan the body, so just kind of just checking in to see how we feel. If we've been running around with our to-do list, with work lists, everything to do throughout our day, we never really check in to see how we actually feel physically as well as emotionally or spiritually. And as you scan the body, you start to feel any areas that feel tight, any areas that you may need to be aware of throughout the practice. And just clocking them, keeping them in the mind, and knowing that we can be aware of these spaces throughout the practice and not go too deeply if we don't want to. We're just going to come into a little bit of simple breath. So we're just going to do a couple of deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, open the mouth and sighing it out. Breathing in through the nose, open the mouth and sighing it out. Let's do 3 more rounds, inhaling deeply. And exhale. One last round, inhaling deeply. And exhaling out. Perfect. We're just going to start by opening up the eyes. I'm just going to give our hands a little bit of a shake from side to side, just feeling any kind of issues. Mine tend to click a lot more when it's cold, but that's totally fine. We're going to take the left hand away from us, grabbing our fingers around and just pulling our fingers back towards us, so we're feeling a stretch through the forearm down towards the ground. We're going to take a lovely big inhale. Exhaling, taking those fingers down towards the ground, we're wrapping around those knuckles, feeling that stretch up towards the sky. Slowly we exhale, taking those fingers up towards the sky on the right, feeling that forearm stretch down towards the ground. And then exhaling, taking those fingers down towards the ground and feeling that stretch up towards the sky. Perfect. Again, just releasing, giving our hands a little bit of a shake. And then we're going to clasp the hands, taking them up towards the sky, giving ourselves a little bit of a side stretch, feeling in towards those rib cage, whatever it is that you're feeling, and just giving ourselves a little bit of a shake from side to side. And then slowly just releasing the hands down. We're going to warm in towards the neck first, so taking the gaze over towards the right hand side. Exhaling, taking the gaze over towards the left. Inhaling, coming right. Exhaling left. trying to keep the eyes level. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. This time we're taking the gaze up towards the sky. So we're feeling a stretch through the throat as we come over towards the right. Taking an exhale as we lift up, feeling that stretch over towards the left. 2 more, so just taking that gaze up towards the sky, feeling that stretch over to the right. Last time, taking an exhale, taking the gaze over towards the left. Perfect. This time we're taking the gaze down towards the ground. So we're feeling that stretching towards the back of the neck. Exhaling, taking that gaze down towards the ground, feeling that stretch. So just taking it slowly and coming to wherever's comfortable for you. 2 more. So inhaling, gaze down. Exhaling, gaze down towards the left. Perfect. We're going to come back into center. Just giving ourselves a little bit of a shake into the shoulders. Just a couple of circles, however that feels for you in your body. So just 1 or 2, maybe 3 circles. Just getting into those shoulder blades, into the ribs, into the lungs. Perfect. We're going to take our left hand down. Right hand's going to reach up towards the sky. So we're reaching through the finger pads. And then slowly we're going to bend in towards that left elbow, taking our hand over. Doesn't matter how deep we come to. We want to make sure that the sitting bones are directly onto the ground, on both of them are leaning with the same amount of weight. 1 more lovely big inhale. And exhale. Inhaling as we lift ourselves up. And then coming over to the right hand side, right hand down, left hand up. So first of all, we're finding length into the spine. Exhaling, we're coming over, reaching towards the right side of the room. Taking a lovely big inhale, lifting up. Exhaling, bending deeply in towards that elbow. Again, doesn't matter how far we come to. We're going to inhale the arms up. Clasping the hands, reaching up towards the sky, coming into a twist. Left hand to right leg, right hand behind us. Taking a lovely big inhale. Exhaling as we twist, gazing over that right shoulder. Taking a lovely big inhale. Exhaling as we twist and we gaze over the shoulder. 1 more lovely big inhale. And exhale to twist. Inhaling as we slowly come back in center, reaching high. Exhaling, we're going to come over towards the left. So right hand to left leg. Inhaling to find length. Exhaling as we twist and we take the gaze over. Taking a lovely big inhale. Exhaling to twist. 1 more lovely big inhale. Exhaling and twist. Perfect. We're going to slowly reach the hands back up towards the sky, finding our side ribs 1 more time. And then slowly releasing. We're coming in towards our tabletop. So hands directly below the shoulders, knees directly below the hips. And we're just going to slowly just warm in towards the finger pads. So we're going to take our fingers out towards the sides of the room and to the side of the mat. And we're gently going to push down on either side. So we just find that kind of stretch. We start to feel the muscles in towards the fingers. The movements by coming down from pushing down in towards the finger pads. And then slowly we're going to come towards the back of the mat, fingertips facing towards us. So it doesn't matter where we come to, doesn't matter how deep we come into the stretch. Maybe it's comfortable to take the bottom down to the heels. Maybe you're still up here. Wherever it is, it's totally fine. Amazing. We're going to come in towards a little bit of a toe stretch. So we're going to come into kneeling, tucking the toes under, getting our little toes in, and we're just coming up, finding that stretch. This one can be a little bit painful, so just being careful of the toes. It's more the fact that we don't ever take our toes into a full stretch. They won't break, I promise you, but it's just that feeling of extra stretch, but I promise you it feels good. So taking one more lovely big inhale. And then exhaling, releasing, taking the hands down. And then we're just going to slowly release the toes, giving the toes a little bit of a tap on the mat, just giving ourselves a bit of a release. And then slowly, we're just going to come in towards our cat-cow. So we're going to drop the front of the pelvis down towards the ground as we open up the heart. And we look towards the front of the room. Exhaling as we tuck the tummy in towards the spine and we dome out through the back. We inhale as we drop the belly and we look towards the front of the room. Exhaling, tucking the tummy in towards the spine, we dome out through the back. Inhaling, dropping the belly, looking forward. So we're looking to find a connection with the breath and really starting to feel the vertebrae, the bones within the spine, just making that movement. Taking a few more rounds in your own time. Yoga for me, like I said, is all about moving the body and the breath. So it's making that connection. Perfect. Then slowly, we're coming back into stillness. We're going to give ourselves just a little bit of a shake from side to side as we release through the spine. And we're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to push through the heels. We're going to find our downward facing dog. We're just going to walk the dog in any way that we feel that we need to. So just swaying the hips left and right. Maybe just kind of bending into one knee, into the other. And again, if downward dog's not for you in your practice, then feel free to stay in towards your tabletop. Wherever you are, we're just going to stay here for a moment. We're going to dangle out through the neck. So just giving it a shake, giving it a nod, whatever feels good for you. Just finding a release into the neck. And then slowly we're just going to come back down in towards our kneeling at the back of the mat. So coming into kneeling, just roll the shoulders back. We're going to come into a little bit of a different kind of start, a little bit of moon salute today. So we're going to slowly bring the hands into prayer in front of the heart. We're going to inhale the hands up towards the sky. So we're filling the body with breath. Exhaling, we're going to slowly come down in towards our child's pose. So if you want to, taking the knees slightly further apart and releasing the forehead down. Giving ourselves a little bit of a shake from side to side just to feel that comfort. And knowing that you can come into this pose at any time throughout the practice. We're going to take the elbows down and we're just going to slowly move ourselves forward. So we're going to come in towards our cobra. So we release ourselves down. Releasing the toes, we roll the shoulders back and we're into our cobra. Exhaling, we release ourselves down. We tuck the toes under and we push ourselves in towards our tabletop or our downward facing dog. We take a lovely big inhale here. Lovely deep exhale. We inhale the left foot towards the front of the mat. Our right knee comes down. We inhale the hands up towards the sky. So we're coming in towards a low lunge. We're filling the body with breath. Exhaling, hands come down towards the ground and we slowly step up towards the front of the mat. We come into our forward fold. We bend into the knees. We release into the neck. We slowly inhale, arms come wide, reaching out to the sides of the room. And we come up into standing. Perfect. Hands come into prayer in front of the heart. And we slowly release ourselves into our Tadasana, giving ourselves a little bit of a shake in towards the neck. Perfect. We're going to inhale, arms come wide, reaching up towards the sky, gazing high. Exhaling, hands come down towards the ground into our forward fold. Amazing. So just releasing here, finding a little bit of ease in towards the pose. We're going to inhale up halfway, so we lengthen through the spine. Exhaling, we take the hands back down towards the ground and we step that left foot towards the back of the mat and our left knee comes down. So we're coming back in towards that low lunge. We inhale the hands high. So we breathe up. Doesn't matter where we come to, we're just working with that breath. And then slowly we exhale, the hands come down towards the ground. And we step back in towards our downward facing dog or our tabletop, whichever's more comfortable for you. Taking a lovely big inhale here. Exhaling, we're going to come down in towards our child's pose. The forehead comes down towards the ground. Amazing. Taking a lovely big inhale. And exhale. We're going to slowly walk the hands back into kneeling. We're going to lift the hands up towards the sky, so we're feeling a lovely deep stretch through the front of the body. And as we exhale, we're going to come back down in towards that child's pose. So just releasing ourselves down. Hands come to the front of the mat, forehead comes down. Perfect. Taking a lovely big inhale. Exhaling, we're going to slowly move ourselves towards the front of the mat and we're coming in towards our cobra. So we lower ourselves down. We release the toes. We roll the shoulders back in towards that cobra. We open the heart. Exhaling, we release ourselves down. We tuck the toes under and we're back in towards that tabletop or downward facing dog. So whichever one's more comfortable for you. When you're ready, we're going to slowly step that right foot towards the front of the mat. Left knee comes down. And then we inhale, we take the hands up towards the sky and we fill the heart. Exhaling, hands come down towards the ground. We're stepping that back foot towards the front of the mat again. So one, maybe two steps, whatever's comfortable for you. Finding our forward fold, bending the knees, finding a relax in the spine. We inhale to flat back, so hands to shins or to the knees. We exhale and we fold. We ground down to the feet. Arms come wide, reaching up towards the sky. We gaze towards the thumbs. Exhaling, hands down through the center line, and we're back in towards our Tadasana. Perfect. Taking a lovely big inhale here. Lovely deep exhale. We inhale, arms come wide, reaching up towards the sky. Exhaling as we fold the hips to our lovely deep forward fold, so surrendering deeply. We inhale, hands to shins, so we lengthen through the spine. Exhaling, hands come down towards the ground and we're taking that right foot towards the back of the mat. And we're going to come back in towards that low lunge, so right knee down. Hands come up towards the sky, so we're into that low lunge. Option to push the hips forward if you want to. Exhaling, hands come down towards the ground. We're stepping back in towards our tabletop, or if it's comfortable for you, in towards that downward facing dog. Taking a lovely big inhale. And exhale. Inhaling, we slowly come down in towards that child's pose. Forehead comes down towards the ground and we find that release. So if we want to, maybe just giving ourselves a little bit of a shake from side to side, releasing foot through the forehead. And we're going to walk the hands back in towards us at the back of the mat. Perfect. We're going to slowly bring the hands into prayer. We're going to work with that breath that we did, but we're going to be doing it into our kneeling. So if you want to, feel free to come and sit onto the block, legs towards the front. We're going to inhale, arms come up towards the sky. Exhaling, hands come out towards the sides of the room. We inhale, hands into prayer. We exhale here. Inhaling, hands up. Exhaling, hands come out towards the sides of the room, picking up that energy. We inhale the hands in towards the prayer. We exhale here. One more round. Inhaling, hands up towards the sky. Exhaling, hands come out towards the sides of the room, bringing them back down in towards us. We inhale into prayer. We exhale here. We're going to come into 2 more rounds of that moon salute. So doing exactly where we are, coming to wherever's comfortable for you. So we're going to inhale the hands up towards the sky. Exhaling as we come in towards our child's pose. So hands come down towards the ground, forehead down. And we're finding that release through the back of the body, maybe giving ourselves a shake from side to side. Slowly we bring ourselves forward onto our tummies, so we come all the way on towards our fronts. We release the toes. We roll the shoulders back and we're in towards our cobra. Exhaling, we tuck the toes under, we push through the heels and we're into our downward facing dog or our tabletop, so wherever's comfortable for you. We're finding a stretch towards the back of the legs if we're in our downward dog, and we're looking towards the knees. We're going to inhale the left foot towards the front of the mat, and we're going to find that low lunge. So if you need to, using that hand to place it forward, that's totally fine. We inhale the hands up towards the sky, filling the body. Exhaling, hands come down towards the ground as we step up towards the front of the mat. Maybe 1, maybe 2 steps, that's totally fine. We find ourselves in our forward fold. We inhale up halfway. Exhaling to fold. We ground down to the feet, arms come wide, reaching up towards the sky, gazing high. Exhaling, hands down through the center line. Into that Tadasana. Perfect. We're going to inhale, arms come wide, reaching up towards the sky. Exhaling as we fold the hips, arms come wide and we're into that forward fold. We inhale up halfway, lengthening through the spine. Exhaling, hands come down towards the ground. We take that left foot towards the back of the mat. We're into our low lunge, so left knee comes down. We slowly inhale the hands up towards the sky, so we're finding that stretch. Exhaling, hands come down towards the ground as we step back in towards that tabletop or downward facing dog, so whichever's comfortable for you. Finding the length in towards the back of the legs. Taking a lovely big inhale and exhale. One more lovely big inhale here. And exhale. We're going to inhale slowly, coming back down in towards that child's pose. Forehead comes down towards the ground, the hips come towards the heels. We inhale the hands up towards the sky. We're finding that length into the front of the body. Exhaling, hands into prayer in front of the heart. So we're doing one more round. So we're going to inhale, arms come high, reaching up. Exhaling as we fold the hips to that lovely deep forward fold, coming all the way down to the mat. Elbows come down maybe as we come all the way to the front as we release onto our tummies. Releasing the toes, rolling the shoulders back, we're into that cobra. Slowly we release ourselves down, we tuck the toes under, and we bring ourselves into our tabletop or downward facing dog. Whatever's more comfortable for you. We slowly lift our right foot towards the front of the mat and our right knee comes down. We inhale the hands up towards the sky. We're breathing in, finding that length. Exhaling, hands come down towards the ground and we step up towards the front of the mat. So again, maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2 steps, that's totally fine. Holding either elbow in our forward fold, releasing deeply. We inhale, hands to shins halfway, so we're finding that length. Exhaling to fold. We ground down to the feet, arms come wide, reaching up towards the sky. Breathing in, finding that length. Exhaling, hands down through the center line. Perfect, we're halfway through, so we're going to do one more. Just to finish, we'll end up in kneeling at the back of the mat. So we inhale, hands up high. Exhaling, elbows come wide as we into that forward fold. Finding that stretch into the back of the legs with a forward fold. We inhale up halfway, lengthening through the spine. Exhaling, hands come down towards the ground. Remembering it's the right foot that steps to the back of the mat and our right knee comes down. We inhale the hands up towards the sky, so we're into that low lunge. Exhaling, hands come down towards the ground and we're back in towards that tabletop or downward facing dog. So whatever's more comfortable for you. We take a lovely big inhale here. Lovely deep exhale. One more lovely big inhale. And exhale. We slowly inhale, lifting ourselves all the way back into that child's pose, so the forehead comes down towards the ground. We inhale the hands up towards the sky, reaching through the fingertips. Exhaling, hands down through the center line. We're going to come into a bit of twisted breath as we're in our kneeling. So coming into our breath, hands into prayer in front of the heart. We're going to slowly inhale the hands up towards the sky. As we exhale, right hand reaches to the back of the room, left hand forward. So we're finding a twist into the body. We're going to slowly exhale, hands into prayer, into the heart. And just releasing here. Inhaling, hands into prayer, reaching up towards the sky, opposite side. So right hand comes forward, left hand goes back on the exhale. We inhale the hands into prayer in front of the heart. We exhale and release here. We inhale the hands up towards the sky, finding length. Exhaling, right hand towards the back of the room, left hand forward on the exhale. Inhaling, hands into prayer. Exhaling and releasing here. Last time. We inhale the hands up towards the sky. Exhaling, right hand forward, left hand back in towards that twist. We inhale the hands into prayer. Exhaling here. Perfect. And just finding a moment, just releasing ourselves and just noticing whether we feel any different in towards the top part of the body, into the lower part of the body, and just coming into that, checking in, that kind of like that scanning through the body. Taking one more lovely big inhale. And exhale. Slowly we're going to make our way into our tabletop. We're going to grab our block or our box, whatever we have as a little bit of support, a little bit of strength. We're going to tuck the toes under and we're going to slowly come in towards our forward fold. We're going to take the block and we're going to be into our forward fold at the back of the mat. So taking the block with us, we want to bend into the knees and find a lovely release into our forward fold. So whatever's comfortable for you, feet down towards the ground, gazing out. Hands towards the ground if you need support. If you want to go deeper, holding either elbow. So whatever's available for you in your body. We're going to inhale as we have been, hands to shins, lengthening through the spine. So we're finding that length into the back of the legs. If you need to, hands up towards the thighs, that's totally fine. We want to roll the shoulders back so we've got a bit of stretch into the back of the body. We're going to take our hands down on towards the block. So we've still got that straight spine. We're going to ground down through the feet. The left hand comes down, right hand reaches high. So we're finding the twist in towards the body, in towards the torso. We're going to take a lovely big inhale here. And exhale. Slowly we're going to bend into the knees. We're going to keep the arms where they are and we're going to come into standing. It's just playing with our balance just a little bit as we inhale, lifting ourselves up. Exhaling, I'm going to bring the hands into prayer in front of the heart. Just taking a lovely big inhale here. And exhale. Inhaling, hands up towards the sky. Exhaling, hands come out towards the sides of the room as we come back into that forward fold. So releasing deeply. Again, coming to wherever's comfortable for you, surrendering down, whether that's bending into the knees, hands to support you, or holding onto the elbow. We're going to inhale up to that flat back, so hands to shin to the thighs. Shoulders are plugging back towards the sitting bones. Taking a lovely big inhale. Exhaling, we're releasing the hands down towards the ground once more. So we find that release. If you need to, bend into the knees. We want a straight spine over the straight legs. Right hand down towards the block, left hand reaches up towards the sky, so we're into that twist. Again, it might be more comfortable for you to bend the legs and lengthen into that left leg as we bend into the right. So whatever's more comfortable for you in your body. Like I say, we're working with the twist in the spine. Taking a lovely big inhale here. And exhale. Slowly we're going to ground down to the feet. We're going to lift ourselves up all the way back into standing. Exhaling, bring the hands into prayer in front of the heart. Just having a moment, feeling the sensations in the body. Lovely big inhale. And exhale. Perfect. Just removing the block from next to us. We're going to slowly take a step forward with our left foot. So we're going to come probably just a big step, just I'd say a normal kind of a step width. We want to have our hips so they're facing the front of the room. We're going to hold either elbow if we can. If we can't, just hold on towards the wrists. But what we're looking for is we're looking for an openness from the shoulders at the front of the body. So rather than kind of coming forward and like, we don't want to be like this. We want that straight spine that I've been talking about. So we're plugging the shoulders back. So holding either elbow. Our left foot is towards the middle of the mat. We're going to come into a forward fold, but we're going to pull that left hip towards the back of the room. So we're going to fold at the hips, keeping that straight spine. It might be that we're only here. It might be you come in a little bit deeper, but wherever you are, we're pushing down with that left big toe, and we're feeling a stretch in towards that hamstring on the left hand side. We keep the gaze down towards the ground, towards the big toe or the front of the mat. And we're looking for a nice long length in towards the back of the neck. Taking a lovely big inhale here. And exhale. One more lovely big inhale. Exhaling, we're going to ground down to that left big toe. We're going to lift ourselves up into standing. Giving a moment, just catching our breath, finding ourselves. And then slowly just stepping up into the middle of the mat and just giving ourselves a bit of release. Feeling that stretching towards the back of the leg. So we're going to come into the other side, but whichever side is normal for you to hold on to, maybe try holding it the other way. So we're going to take a step towards the front of the mat with the right foot. And we're going to slowly come into that forward fold again, but we want to have that pushing back motion with that right hip towards the back of the room. Shoulders are open, taking a lovely big inhale, filling the body with breath. Exhaling, we pull that hip towards the back of the room and we're into that forward fold. So again, you might find that one side is easier to fold. We were looking to ground down through our big toe on our right hand side, and we're feeling a stretch into the back of the leg on the right. Taking a lovely big inhale and exhale. And another deep inhale and exhale. One last lovely big inhale here. And exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to ground down that front toe. We lift ourselves up. We release the hands and we slowly step ourselves in towards the front of the mat, giving ourselves a bit of a shake. So just releasing out through the hands and the feet. Perfect. So we're into our Tadasana at the front of the mat, remembering it's feet hip width apart or our toes are touching. Palms are facing the front of the room. Taking a lovely big inhale and exhale. Let's do one more and then we're just going to side out. Open the mouth. Perfect. We're going to take a big step out with our left foot towards the back of the mat. So we're going to find that warrior two that we've been working into. We bend in towards that front leg, back legs at a 45-degree angle or parallel towards the back of the mat. We're looking to open the hips, and we're taking the weight towards the outside of the foot at the front. We gaze towards our right middle finger with our hands parallel towards the ground. So just taking a moment to check the back hand, making sure that it's not wobbling around at the back of the mat. We're gazing towards that right middle finger. Taking a lovely big inhale. And exhale. One more lovely big inhale. And exhale. We're going to inhale, we're going to lengthen through the front leg. We're going to reach towards the front of the room so we feel that stretch on the inside of the right leg. Right hand comes down towards the leg or towards a block, so whichever's more comfortable for you. Sometimes placing your weight onto a block gives yourself a little bit more kind of leverage. If you're pushing it onto the leg, sometimes it can be a bit too much into the knee. Left hand reaches up towards the sky, so we find that stretch. Hands are open like stars, so we're really feeling that energy activating through the muscles in towards the hand. Taking a lovely big inhale here. And exhale. One last lovely big inhale. Exhaling, taking the gaze down towards that big toe. And we slowly lift ourselves all the way up into standing. We're going to take our toes, so they're going to be parallel towards the small sides of the mat. So we're into a wide leg forward fold. Hands towards the back of the body, elbows towards the back of the room. We're going to take a lovely big inhale, finding length. Exhaling, if we need to, we're bending into the knees and we're finding a deep forward fold. Option to take the block down towards the ground in front of you. Or if you can, releasing the hands down towards the ground. So whatever's more comfortable for you in your practice. Again, we want to be working with a straight spine, so rather than doming in the back, finding that space, maybe onto our fingertips and bending into the knees, you still find the stretch on the inside of the legs and to the back of the body. Taking a lovely big inhale here. And exhale. So we're going to work with that twist. So we're going to take the right hand down towards the ground or to the block. Left hand reaches up towards the sky as we find that twist. So we're breathing into the chest. Lovely big inhale. And exhale. One more lovely big inhale, finding length. Exhaling, we slowly take that right hand down towards the ground or to the block. Maybe just giving ourselves a little bit of a sway from side to side, just releasing out through the legs, through the hips. Right hand down towards the ground, left hand reaches high on our inhale, so we're breathing in towards the body. Finding that openness, but equally finding that twist in towards the spine. Taking a lovely big inhale. Exhaling, releasing that left hand down towards the ground. Perfect. We bend into the knees. We take the hands towards the hips. We tuck the chin in and we lift ourselves all the way up into standing. Amazing. We release the shoulders. If we can, we take the right toes towards the front of the mat and we're going to step ourselves forward. So 1, maybe 2 steps, and we're in towards that Tadasana, toes touching or feet hip width apart. Taking a lovely big inhale here. And exhale. One more lovely big inhale. Open the mouth and sighing it out. We're going to take a big step out with our right foot towards the back of the mat. So we're coming into that warrior 2 on the other side. So again, back foot's at a 45-degree angle and we're bending in towards that left leg. Once we're comfortable with our legs and our foundations, we take the hands and they're parallel towards the ground and we gaze towards our left middle finger. Again, making sure that our arms are parallel towards the ground. We're bending in towards that front leg. Any issues, we shorten the legs and we bring our legs, feet closer and we find a comfortable space. Taking a lovely big inhale. And exhale. One more lovely big inhale. And exhale. Slowly we're going to inhale, lengthening through that front leg. We reach towards the front of the room, left hand comes down, right hand reaches high. So again, maybe you want to use a block or use a hardback book, and just giving yourself a little bit of release as the right hand comes up towards the sky. We're looking to find a stretch into the inside of the right leg, but we also find a little bit of a twist in towards the torso if we can. Taking a lovely big inhale. And exhale. One more lovely big inhale. Exhaling, we take the gaze down towards our right big toe and we lift ourselves up. We're going to come into that forward fold once more, so feet come parallel towards the sides of the mat. Hands towards the hips, we lengthen through the spine. Elbows towards the back of the room, and as we exhale, we fold in towards those hips, that lovely deep forward fold. Hands come down towards the ground or to the block, so wherever's comfortable for you. Again, like I mentioned earlier, if it's too much and we don't have a block, we bend into the knees, so we keep that straight spine and maybe the hands can come down. We take a lovely big inhale here. Lovely deep exhale. So we're going to work in towards that twist once more. Left hand down, right hand up. So we find that twist into the spine. Taking a lovely big inhale, lengthening through those fingertips. Exhaling slowly, taking the right hand down towards the ground. Left hand reaches high towards the sky. We open up the heart. Lovely big inhale here. Deep exhale. One more lovely big inhale. Exhaling slowly, bring the hands down towards the ground or to the block. We bend into the knees, we tuck the chin in, and we slowly lift ourselves all the way up into standing. And then slowly we're going to take the left toes towards the front of the mat. And then we're going to slowly step our feet all the way in towards our Tadasana at the front. So palms facing the front of the room, shoulders rolling down the back. Taking a lovely big inhale. And exhale. We're going to come in towards our balancing pose. So wherever is comfortable for you, we're going to place our weight in towards our right foot. If you need to, feel free to just hold onto a wall just slightly. Otherwise, taking the left toes out towards the sides of the room. Hands can come to the hips. We're going to slowly drag that left toe in towards us. So we're placing the heel towards the inside of our right heel, right ankle. Knee comes out towards the side. So we're working with opening up the hip, but we're playing with the balance. If this is comfortable for you, taking ourselves in towards our second one, so we open up just a little bit further. Taking a lovely big inhale. And exhale. One more lovely big inhale. Exhaling slowly, releasing and giving ourselves just a little bit of a shake to the legs, just releasing out. So keeping that focus, we're going to place the weight in towards the left leg, right toes are pointed. So if it's comfortable for you, hands towards the hips. We open the hip and we slowly take our right heel in towards our left ankle. Again, we're working with opening up the hip. So coming to wherever's comfortable for you. If you want to, taking that foot and placing it on the inner calf, but whatever's available for you in your practice. It's easier to keep the balance if we have our gaze onto a non-moving point. So keeping that focus and keeping that breath. Taking a lovely big inhale. And then slowly exhaling, releasing. Just giving ourselves just a little bit of a shake. Perfect. We're going to slowly come down towards our little squat. So coming down to wherever's comfortable for you. It might be that it's hard to get down in towards a squat, and that's totally fine. So just bending in towards the knees. So we have options. If you're comfortable coming down towards the ground in towards a deep squat, then that's great. And we're going to take our right hand down towards the ground. So we're coming in towards this kind of pose. If you want to, placing a block underneath the hips. If it's too much, feel free to come in towards a forward fold and just place the right hand down towards the ground. We're working with the twist again, so if this is your pose, that's totally fine. If you've got your heels onto a block or to a book to give yourself a bit of help into the Achilles, that's totally fine. Right hand's going to come down towards the ground, left hand's going to reach up towards the sky. So again, we're just working with opening up the body in towards a twist. Doesn't matter if we're into a forward fold, doesn't matter. Taking one more lovely big inhale. Exhaling, slowly releasing, bring that left hand down towards the ground. Wherever you go, we're going to lengthen into the legs, in towards our forward fold. It just gives our hips a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a step from side to side. And then slowly we're going to come back in towards that squat. So again, whether that's into a forward fold with the bent knees, that's totally fine. Left hand down towards the ground, right hand opens towards the sky, so we're into that twist. We're taking a lovely big inhale and exhale. One last lovely big inhale. Exhaling, we bring that hand back down towards the ground. We lengthen into the legs and we just give ourselves, again, just a little bit of a sway from side to side. It's a deep one in towards the hips, in towards those knees. So we're going to slowly just bring ourselves in towards our seated. Feet towards the front of the room, toes pointing up towards the sky. We're coming into our forward fold, so we're going to take the meat away from our sitting bones. We're going to keep the toes active, bend into the legs, and we're going to hold on to either side of the feet. Slowly we're going to walk the feet away from us, and as soon as we feel the tummy pull away from the legs, we hold here. We want to stop the rounding into the spine, so we want to roll the shoulders back, feeling that length. Taking a lovely big inhale and exhale. Taking two more lovely deep inhales here and exhale. One last lovely big inhale and exhale. Slowly we're going to inhale, we're going to walk the hands in towards us. We're going to bend in towards our right leg and we're going to take that right leg over our left leg. Left hand comes behind us, right hand reaches up towards the sky, we find length. Exhaling, we take that elbow to the inside of that knee. We take a lovely big inhale to find length. Exhaling, we twist and we take the gaze over that left shoulder. So we're finding that twist in towards the spine. Taking a lovely big inhale. And exhale. One last lovely big inhale here. And exhale. We're going to slowly come round towards the front of the room. We're going to play with our balance just a little bit. And we're going to just gently bring our foot so it's parallel towards the ground. Sorry, our shins parallel towards the ground. So we've got options here. If we want to, holding on towards our foot. If you've got a belt or a dressing gown belt next to you, then that's totally fine, or a yoga strap. If you really want to play with the balance, we're going to take the left hand towards the outside of that right foot. Again, it's just playing with our bodies, and we take that right hand towards the ground behind us. So we're playing with balance in towards the sitting bones, but we're also twisting in towards the torso. So it doesn't matter where we come to, we take a lovely big inhale and exhale. One more lovely big inhale here. And exhale. Slowly we inhale, we lengthen ourselves towards the front, we release that leg. And we're going to take that right leg towards the inside of our left inner thigh. Any issues or the knee is lifted, then just place the block underneath the hip, underneath the knee, sorry. We take a lovely big inhale to find length. Exhaling as we twist and we fold and we reach towards the front. So taking the hands towards the leg, the foot or the ankle. Whatever's available to you. We're looking for a stretch at the top of the leggings and a stretching towards the hamstrings. Knowing that it's your practice, so coming to wherever's comfortable for you. Taking a lovely big inhale and exhale. One more lovely big inhale and exhale. Slowly we're going to inhale, we're going to walk the hands back in towards us. We're going to bring that right leg in and just give it a little bit of a shake. Just finding a little bit of space into the body. Again, we're going to come into that forward fold, so toes are active. We're going to bend into the legs, holding on to either side of the foot or using a strap. And just walking the feet further away from us until we're comfortable. So we're finding that length at the back of the legs and into the lower spine. Taking a lovely big inhale here. And exhale. Another lovely big inhale. And exhale. One last lovely big inhale here. Exhaling to release. Slowly we're going to walk the hands back in towards us. We lengthen into the legs. We're going to bring that left leg in towards us. Taking that left foot over the right leg. Right hand comes behind us. So we're working in towards that twist. We inhale the hands up towards the sky. Exhaling, we take that elbow to the outside of the knee. Sorry, inside of the knee. We take a lovely big inhale to find length. Exhaling and we twist and we take the gaze over that right shoulder. We take a lovely big inhale to find length. Exhaling to twist. One last lovely big inhale. And exhale. Inhaling as we slowly come round back in center. So again, we're playing with that balance once more. We're going to bring that left foot in towards us. We're going to hold on to the foot. Totally fine if the knee comes out wide to begin with. It's totally fine. We're just playing with the balance and having a little bit of a play. So we're holding onto the foot. Maybe we're just holding here. If you want to, taking that right hand towards the outside of the left foot. And then taking the left hand behind us. So we're playing with that twist. Taking a lovely big inhale. And exhale. One more lovely big inhale. And exhale. Slowly we inhale, we come back in center. We release that leg, just taking it towards the front and giving it a bit of a shake. We take that left foot to the inside of the right inner thigh. So again, any issues, if you want to, we're taking the block underneath the knee, giving ourselves a little bit of a rest in towards that hip. We inhale the hands up towards the sky, exhaling as we twist and we fold forward. So hands come to the knee, the shin or the foot. We take a lovely big inhale to find length, exhaling to fold. And taking another lovely big inhale. And exhale. One last lovely big inhale here. And exhale. We're going to slowly walk the hands back in towards us. Bring the knee in towards us and just lengthening it out towards the front of the room. We're going to come down onto our backs in towards our twists. So wherever's comfortable for you, coming down onto your backs, knees up towards the sky into our reverse tabletop, or if you want to, feet down towards the ground. Taking the arms out wide or lengthened, so whichever's available to you. And then slowly we're going to take the legs over towards the right hand side as we take the gaze over towards the left. If the knees lifted, then just gently taking our block or taking a pillow or something and just gently placing it underneath so we find that release into the spine. And we're not straining too much with holding ourselves in towards that pose. Taking a lovely big inhale. And exhale. Slowly we're going to inhale, we're going to bring ourselves back into center. And then we're going to take our legs over towards the left hand side as we take the gaze over towards the right. So again, if we need to, just placing that block underneath the knees to give ourselves a bit of release. We gaze over towards the left side of the shoulder so we find that twist in towards the spine. Taking a lovely big inhale. And exhale. One more lovely big inhale. And exhale. Inhaling, we're going to slowly come back in center. We're going to give ourselves a lovely big hug. So we're going to activate all the muscles in the body. We squeeze ourselves in tightly, so we're really finding that kind of tension. And on the exhale, we're going to release the legs out towards the front of the room. Palms face up towards the sky. Any issues in towards our lumbar spine, we bend our knees and we take the knees towards each other. So we're in towards our Savasana, our final resting pose. We hold here for a couple of minutes just to find a bit of release. Our Savasana is the most important pose of the practice. It's where the physical body starts to take on all the goodness from the practice. It starts to release and take on board those subtle movements and subtle changes that we've been doing for the last 45 minutes to an hour. If you drift off, that's totally fine. Just taking a lovely deep inhale, filling the body with breath. We're going to part the lips and we're going to sigh it out. As we sigh it out, we just feel the mat come up underneath us and support the body. Through the back of the head, through the spine, through the ankles, through the hips. If you want to, staying in your Savasana, otherwise starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Taking the arms over the head for a full body stretch, reaching through the fingertips and through the toes. We're going to bring the knees in towards the chest, giving ourselves a lovely big hug. And then slowly taking ourselves over towards the left or the right hand side, whichever's available to you. Just holding here for a moment. Just finding that release. We're going to gently just push down through that top hand as we bring ourselves into a comfortable seated position at the top of the mat. So whether that's cross-legged or kneeling. Keeping the eyes closed. And just taking a moment to notice how the body feels. How the mind feels. And how the breath feels. Slowly bring the hands into prayer in front of the heart. May the divine in me honour the divine in you. Namaste. Thank you very much for practicing today. I hope you enjoyed it. I sprinkled a couple of deeper kind of things like that for like the deep squat in. So I hope you kind of played with it, enjoyed it. Just opening up the body slightly differently. Any questions or any comments, just drop them in the comment box and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, enjoy your day. Thank you.